Hi, welcome to the National Critics' Choice Online News. And please tell us, how does it feel for Fine Palate being established for 20 years?
It feels fantastic. It's been a progressive growth, not overnight. A lot of effort's gone into the foundations to make it strong and make sure every event we do is noteworthy and that people enjoy it and they come back and they tell their friends and so on. So in a small country like this, it's very important to have a good name recognition with your brand. So I've been working very hard towards feeling confident in everything I do step by step. So it's been a slow growth, but now I think we're at a stage we can probably expand fairly quickly because I have quite a few people I've trained who have been supporting me over the years, and I feel that I owe it to them to expand and give them a bigger opportunity and bigger careers.
For Fine Palate, what's the secret of your success? Can you give us some 3 key secrets?
I think I'm a bit of a perfectionist when it comes to entertaining, hospitality, and I do what I would do for myself, for other people. And to create an environment when you're hosting an event, make it as comfortable as you possibly can, make it really a special, more than a regular day. When you command guests' attention or you invite them to your home, you owe it to them to make an extra effort, and I do that with my clients. I advise them if they're not very experienced in entertaining. I try to tweak things around to make it enjoyable for the guest. So at every stage, the guest is my ultimate client. Every guest is my client, not just my client.
And for advice for young women around the world, what would be the one advice for young women who wish to start out a new business and able to endure 20 years?
I was very fortunate to start my business without really needing immediate income from it, which allowed me to explore the way I want to do things rather than having to take things on to cover costs and turn a profit and so on. Having said that, I have turned a profit from day one. However, I didn't need to, so that wasn't the drive. Making money was never the drive. It was doing something well was my main objective. So with that kind of, it's a slower growth, but it's a very steady growth. So I would say choose something that they're passionate about and give it enough time, nurture it. Don't give up and just keep going, and as soon as you do one thing, your friends, your clients give you all the encouragement you need to get to the next step. So just don't go planning too high right from the beginning. Start slowly, get your groundwork, and do things that give you the confidence to move to the next level, step by step. That's how I did it, and I cannot do it any other way because I have to learn every step as well. I've had people over the years wanting to invest or offer more money for me to grow faster, but I don't think I can do it that way.
Can you give one advice to business owners about manpower? Because how do you handle the high turnover and the challenges of getting manpower to fulfill?
Unfortunately, I chose the worst time in Singapore history to expand my business. That was timing was really wrong. Of course, everybody has the challenge now of facing the same issues that we're all facing with the limitation of who we can hire. I think what you really need to do is work harder even than before to turn your staff over to caring about how they work. Make them understand and make them passionate as much as if you can. So I work a lot on one-on-one with each one of them as I bring them on board. It gets harder, of course, as you expand, but I try and give them as much information as possible and try to excite them, try to wake them up it's not just the 9 to 5. You don't just, what you do matters. How you do it matters. Because not necessarily everyone in my kitchen is a foodie or in this business because they're a foodie. So I have to win them over and work with them, make them care more, and give them feedback as much as I can, make them feel good about what they're doing. So that's the only way you can, I think, overcome the changeovers. My staff, one of my staff have been with me 18 years, from right from the beginning, and the others, as I've hired, I've had people for 4 years, 5 years, and of course we're adding more people, and those are the ones I have to work with more closely to make them feel good about their job and make them happy about coming to work every day and so on. So that's my biggest challenge now, and I'm working on that, keeping a very close eye on it to see who are the team players and who aren't the team players and so on. So that's still a lot of work there that I could be doing.
One of my viewers asked, why do you call your company Fine Palate, and what's the inspiration behind it?
Fine Palate, okay. I didn't have a name for a long time. I started doing this work just as more of a hobby, and then it got to a point where I had to create business cards and start getting some collateral together, and everybody spoke of my palate being very strong because I could detect every flavor in a dish. Even if I haven't cooked it myself, I can go back, analyze it, and as close to maybe 90% of the ingredients, I will know what's there. It's just part of when you're interested in something, I think you learn it that way. So everyone started speaking to me about what a good palate I have and so on. So I thought, okay, Fine Palate makes sense. And I'm quite happy with the name, actually.
And if you have failed your business, do you have a plan B?
If I don't continue with this business, plan B?
Yes, if you have failed.
Yes, I do have a plan. Retirement? No. Well, even if I don't fail, I do have a plan B. So it is to still stay close to food, but maybe in another country where I can grow some food as well. I really want to go to the origin of the food. I want to make cheese, I want to grow vegetables, so I want to go back to nature and start from even further back.
So what's next for Fine Palate? Are you going to plan to do what you're going to do next, like growing your own vegetables?
My idea to keep it going, ideally, long term, and to basically hand it over to senior level management. I'm basically working towards replacing myself at some point, maybe not in the next 2-3 years, but next 5 years. And that's my plan, to have a succession plan so it can keep going and keep growing.
How can our viewers find out more information about Fine Palate? Do you have a website?
We have a website, yes. I think it's quite comprehensive. It covers everything we do. I guess I just have to be more out there now, seeing that most of the areas of the business is now taken care of by people who've been trained well. I can move on to more doing PR and being the face of Fine Palate.